Day 7 of Saints training camp, third consecutive day in pads. This is WWL's training camp coverage 2024. Jeff Nowak, Deuce McAllister. We got Mike Haas over there behind the camera. And, 7 days in, third day in a row padded practice, scuffles, right? This is chippiness season, right? And it did seem like, I counted maybe 3 or 4. Is this kind of the point where, guys are getting a little hot under the collar, like you need some people to step in, maybe dial it back a little bit? What is your read on all that?
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen, and that's where the head coach steps in and, hey, it's third day of practice. I've been going against this guy, a little back and forth from both sides, offense and defense. And, I think Alontae was involved in 3 different, we'll call it opportunities or sessions with guys. And so, look, they're competitors. And so they all want to win. They all want to win a rep. They all want to win a play. And, when I get a chance to go out there and catch a ball, I'm going to talk a little noise. And so when I have to go and block and, maybe I'm a stronger defender, I'm going to throw my weight around. And so you saw that a little bit. And, the coach just has to make sure that guys have to understand, hey, that's still my teammate. We can go at it, but at the same time, I have to be able to keep my cool.
Yeah, that's the good news from today is Chris Olave did come back. He left early with an injury after day 6. He was a full participant today, so that's a positive. But one guy who I thought stood out today was Alontae Taylor. They matched up 4 times in one-on-ones, 3 incompletions. I know they were jawing back and forth. Chris thought he was being held a little bit. But I thought, for a guy who may have gotten off to somewhat of a slow start, I thought this was a strong day for Alontae. What are your reads on him to this point?
Just be consistent. I mean, he's probably played outside a lot more this camp because Marshawn hadn't been available, and Marshawn was out at practice today, not dressed, but he was out there. And so just be consistent. The looks are going to be a little bit different when you're in the slot and when you're outside. And now the receiver type that I'm covering, whether he's a smaller, quicker guy, or whether he's maybe a bigger receiver, they're going to be a little bit different than what you will normally see in the slot. And so for Alontae, it's going to come down to technique and being able to say, hey, look, this is what I'm expecting from this split. This is what I'm expecting from this type of motion, and just go out there and try to be consistent. And so for him, if I can have those assignment down and then I can be physical as far as a tackler, that's where he's going to be able to make the most impact for this defense.
Gotcha. Sticking on the defense, the biggest thing from today, I thought, was the pass rush. They were in the backfield constantly. You did see some rotation on the offensive line. There was no Eric McCoy. He was getting kind of a veteran's day off. You had kind of that rotation at left guard with Nick Saldiveri out, Landon Young, Kyle Hergel, and Ali Udo was the third guy in that mix there. But, at what point does the offensive line become maybe a concern when you're seeing the pass rush in the backfield? Or is it really just an indication like this pass rush is kind of a dominant group that we should be excited about?
Well, I think, anytime one of the things that you have to remember, today was another day of third down. And so the looks that you're normally going to get. And so from a protection standpoint, you've got to be on the same page. And so like you just talked about, a number of guys rotating in, not having your regular center, so now the calls may be a little bit different. And now I have a young guard in there. He may, I'm working with the new left tackle who is still a rookie. And now I see 3 defensive ends and a D tackle, and now the other rush guy is going to be, Willie Gay, who's a stand-up linebacker. Process all that. So it's a lot. And so you're still putting in a new system, new scheme. I don't have a great concern with the offense, as far as the pressures are concerned, particularly when they're in that type of look. They went dime one time, and you still have 3 defensive ends or 3 defensive ends altogether with the rush linebacker and no defensive tackles. 2 of them are standing up. And so, you can call it amoeba or whatever you want to call it defensive-wise, but it's a lot. And so from a system standpoint, identifying 5 guys, and these are my 5 rushers, and understanding that we have to be able to talk and pick them up. I think that you'll see a better scheme-wise pickup as far as guys understanding on Friday. But, the defense got after them, particularly in that third down situation.
Day off tomorrow, back in pads on Friday and Saturday. For more coverage, check out WWL.com. Make sure to listen to Sports Talk 4 to 8 p.m. every day on WWL, AM 870, FM 105.3, and always on the free Odyssey app. Jeff Nowak, the legend, Deuce McAllister, Mike Haas, we're with you for the duration. Thanks, y'all.